In the dense, foreboding woods, a sense of unease settled like a heavy mist as a young girl named Emily wandered deeper into the shadows. Her parents, John and Sarah, followed close behind, their hearts pounding with both concern and a growing dread. As the sun dipped below the horizon, a chilling silence fell upon the forest. Panic gripped John and Sarah's hearts as they realized they had lost sight of their beloved daughter. Frantic searches and desperate calls yielded no response. Emily had vanished without a trace. Hours turned into days, and the search party scoured every inch of the eerie woods. And then, in a clearing shrouded in darkness, they discovered a chilling clue, a decrepit, terrifying doll that bore an uncanny resemblance to Emily. Fear gripped John and Sarah as they stared into the doll's glassy eyes, its twisted smile mocking their anguish. How could their sweet daughter be trapped within this lifeless, haunting figure? In a frenzy of desperation, they brought the doll back to their home, hoping to uncover the truth behind this eerie transformation. As the days passed, the doll seemed to possess an unsettling presence, a sinister energy that permeated the air, whispering secrets of a macabre nature. Late at night, when the moon hung high in the sky, the doll's porcelain face would come alive. Its once lifeless eyes now gleamed with a malevolent light. It moved with a haunting grace, its small porcelain hands reaching out for John and Sarah. Terror consumed their every waking moment, their home transformed into a nightmare realm where the line between the living and the lifeless blurred. They soon realized that their daughter's spirit had become trapped within the doll, a vessel for an otherworldly presence that hungered for their souls. Driven by a fierce love for their daughter, John and Sarah embarked on a perilous journey to free Emily from the doll's clutches. They sought the guidance of a renowned paranormal investigator, Professor Magnus, who unraveled the dark history behind the doll. Centuries ago, an evil sorceress had cursed the doll, infusing it with her own malevolent spirit. The curse demanded innocent souls as offerings, trapping them within the doll's lifeless form. Now, Emily was bound to the curse, a prisoner of her own haunted existence. Together, John, Sarah, and Professor Magnus delved into forbidden rituals and ancient texts, searching for a way to break the curse and release Emily from her porcelain prison. But the malevolent presence fought back, unleashing a torrent of supernatural horrors upon them. As their sanity wavered and their lives hung in the balance, John and Sarah confronted the sorceress in a final, desperate showdown. The battlefield was their once loving home, now transformed into a nightmarish realm where reality and nightmare merged. With love and sacrifice, they channeled their every ounce of strength, battling against the sorceress's dark magic. In a climactic clash of light and darkness, the curse shattered, freeing Emily from the doll's entrapment. The family, scarred but reunited, emerged from the harrowing ordeal forever changed. The doll, once a vessel of terror, now lay lifeless and powerless. The woods, once a haunting labyrinth, returned to an eerie calm. But scars remained, both visible and unseen, reminders of the horrors they had faced. Their lives would never be the same, but they carried with them a newfound appreciation for love, the resilience of the human spirit, and the enduring power to overcome even the most chilling of nightmares. I see you're already subscribed to the channel, and if not, it's your own fault. In a small, secluded town, a dark secret lay buried, haunting the hearts of its inhabitants. It all began 15 years ago when a young girl named Lily vanished without a trace, leaving her grief-stricken parents, Richard and Margaret, shattered and consumed by guilt. Haunted by the weight of their actions, Richard and Margaret had long suppressed the truth that they were responsible for their daughter's untimely demise on that fateful, moonless night. Their dark deed had remained hidden, their secret buried alongside their shattered hopes and dreams. But one ominous night, as the clock struck midnight, the ringing of the phone shattered the silence in Richard and Margaret's home. Trembling with fear and trepidation, they picked up the receiver, their hearts racing as they heard the voice of their long-lost daughter, Lily. Tears streamed down their faces as they listened, paralyzed with terror and guilt, to the soft whispers that emanated from the other end of the line. Lily recounted the details of that dark night, the night her life was stolen by her own parents. She spoke of the pain, the betrayal, and the longing for justice. Terrified of the consequences and tormented by regret, Richard and Margaret found themselves entangled in a web of their own making. Lily's voice haunted their every waking moment, her accusations echoing through the walls of their home. Driven to the edge of insanity, Richard and Margaret sought solace in the darkness, desperate to silence the haunting voice that had become a constant torment. But with each attempt to escape their past, the supernatural forces that had been unleashed grew stronger, refusing to let them forget. As the sinister presence closed in on them, Richard and Margaret were forced to confront their darkest secrets. They delved into their own memories, retracing the steps that led to Lily's demise, unearthing a trail of lies, betrayal, and unspeakable acts. Guided by their own guilt-ridden desperation, Richard and Margaret embarked on a treacherous journey into the abyss of their souls. They sought answers from long-forgotten sources, crossing paths with enigmatic figures who held the key to their redemption. With each revelation, the walls of their reality crumbled, and they found themselves trapped in a nightmarish realm where past and present intertwined. Lily's vengeful spirit became an omnipresent force, haunting their every move, tormenting them with memories and visions of the darkness they had wrought. In a climactic battle between light and shadow, Richard and Margaret confronted their own demons, their twisted past threatening to consume them whole. They fought not only for their own survival but for a chance at redemption, a chance to set things right, no matter the cost. In the final, heart-wrenching moments, Richard and Margaret faced a devastating truth: they could never undo the horrors they had committed. The darkness had forever stained their souls, and the consequences of their actions would haunt them until the end of their days. As the echoes of their past faded into the abyss, Richard and Margaret were left broken, forever burdened by the weight of their sins. The revelation of their daughter's fate brought them no solace, only an eternal reminder of the darkness that resided within them. In the chilling aftermath, the town remained oblivious to the harrowing truth that had unfolded within its midst. Lily's voice, silenced once again, returned to the depths of the unknown, leaving Richard and Margaret to bear the eternal torment of their own guilt. And so, the shadows continued to dance, carrying the secrets of that dark night, forever shrouded in darkness, forever unresolved. The story of a missing girl and her tormented parents served as a grim reminder of the consequences of a sin that can never be undone.
I'm following you, you haven't liked it yet.
In the ancient town where the mists of forgotten time intertwined, the sunrise brought only a faint light that pierced through the dense branches of ancient trees. The Halloween night grew darker, and a malevolent wind whispered its hidden secrets, creating an atmosphere of unease and terror. A young woman named Emily felt a shiver of anticipation as she prepared to take a walk through the woods on this special night. Walking through the woods on any ordinary day already sent shivers down her spine, but on Halloween, she felt a genuine fear that coursed through every fiber of her being. Nonetheless, this night presented an opportunity for her to confront her inner demons and gather courage. Donning her darkest attire and a frightening mask, Emily embarked on her journey, carrying a flashlight and a heart full of determination. The woods welcomed her with their somber beauty, with shadows dancing upon every tree and stone. The sounds of the night filled the air, the howling wind, the chirping of birds, but a sense of unease gnawed at Emily's heart. As she ventured deeper into the woods, the sounds grew increasingly mysterious and unsettling. The rustling of branches resembled the crunch of bones, and an eerie presence seemed to slither around her. Strange figures flitted through the air, defying explanation. With each step, Emily's heart pounded louder, matching the tempo of her racing thoughts. The trees whispered secrets to one another, their voices carried on the wind, their words hinting at ancient rituals and forgotten lore. The boundary between reality and imagination blurred as Emily's mind played tricks on her, conjuring images of grotesque creatures lurking in the shadows. She quickened her pace, driven by a mix of fear and curiosity, as the night seemed to take on a life of its own. Branches clawed at her, as if the forest itself tried to keep her captive. Whispers echoed through the darkness, voices from unseen realms, weaving tales of lost souls and vengeful spirits. Her flashlight's beam illuminated strange symbols etched into the trunks of trees, as if marking the path to an unknown destination. Each step became an act of defiance, a declaration of bravery in the face of mounting terror. The woods seemed to feed off her fear, drawing energy from her growing trepidation. Time lost its meaning as Emily wandered deeper into the heart of the woods. The moon, shrouded by dark clouds, cast an eerie glow upon the gnarled branches that reached out like skeletal fingers. Her senses heightened, Emily caught glimpses of movement in her periphery, fleeting figures that vanished when she turned her gaze upon them. A chorus of whispers swirled around her, taunting her, their words laced with malevolence. Shadows danced and merged, forming grotesque shapes that sent shivers down her spine. The air grew heavy, suffocating, as if the very atmosphere conspired to keep her trapped within this nightmare. Her heart raced, adrenaline surged through her veins, as she realized the woods had become a labyrinth of fear and despair. Panic threatened to consume her, but a fierce determination burned within her. She refused to be a victim to the darkness that sought to claim her soul. Drawing upon her inner strength, Emily pressed forward, determined to find an escape from this twisted realm. But as she ventured deeper, the woods resisted her, conjuring obstacles and illusions to confound her senses. The path twisted and turned, leading her in circles, as if mocking her desperate attempts to find a way out. In her darkest hour, when hope flickered like a dying flame, Emily stumbled upon a clearing bathed in an ethereal light. There, in the center, stood a towering ancient tree, its gnarled branches reaching toward the heavens. A sense of foreboding washed over her, but she knew this was her final trial. With trembling hands, Emily approached the tree and placed her palm upon its rough bark. A surge of energy coursed through her, a connection to the hidden powers of the woods. In that moment, she understood that the key to her escape lay not in fighting the darkness, but in embracing her own inner light. With a newfound determination, Emily closed her eyes and summoned all her courage. She channeled her fear into a beacon of strength, and as her light shone brighter, the darkness around her began to recede. The once formidable woods melted away, revealing a path bathed in golden light. As Emily emerged from the depths of the haunted woods, the dawn broke, painting the sky in hues of pink and gold. Her heart filled with triumph, knowing that she had conquered her darkest fears. The woods, once a place of terror, now held only a faint whisper of the horrors she had faced. Walking away from that harrowing experience, Emily carried the lessons of that Halloween night deep within her soul. She knew that fear could be faced and conquered, and that the darkest of nights could give birth to the brightest of dawns. And so, she ventured forth, forever changed, ready to embrace the unknown with newfound courage. But the woods remained, their secrets preserved, waiting for the next weary traveler to step foot into their realm of darkness and face their own fears. For within those haunted woods, the cycle of fear and bravery continued, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit in the face of unspeakable horror.